I'm always a little bit sad when it's time to take down the Christmas tree, aren't you? Well, today I want to share an idea with you on how you can take your dried out Christmas tree and craft a lovely scented potpourri that you are going to enjoy. Hi, I'm Michele. Welcome to Chocolate Box Cottage, where I share useful, beautiful, and thrifty recipes and ideas like this one to help you create your own cozy cottage. Today we're making Christmas tree potpourri, and you can either use your dried out Christmas tree, or if you get an earlier start than what I usually do, you can take those lower branches that you normally trim off the tree when you put it in your tree stand, and you can make the potpourri with that. So we're going to add a few simple ingredients, and we're going to make a lovely scented potpourri. Our first ingredient, of course, is the Christmas tree. So you'll want to pull some branches off of your old dried out tree, or reserve some of those lower limbs that were trimmed off, and just start snipping them into a bowl in small pieces. And the amount that you'll want to snip depends on how much potpourri you want to make. I like to use a gallon size jar, so I just kind of eyeball it to see how much will be needed along with the other ingredients. And of course, this is not a hard and fast recipe by any means, but I will post the suggested ingredients and proportions in the description box below so that you have something to go by. So if I were using my dried out Christmas tree, these needles would probably already have started changing colors, and they would easily come off of the twigs. They would easily strip off. These branches were what we trimmed off of our tree, and they were outside, so they have stayed pretty fresh and green. But either way is good. You can either pull the needles off and get a really fine potpourri that way, or you can just do what I've been doing, and that involves a lot of snipping. Hot chocolate, of course, is a prerequisite. And I do have a video on making your own hot cocoa mix, and also a carob cocoa mix that's quite delicious. So I will provide iCards above in the screen for you to find those recipes, the videos for those recipes. And I will remember to put the links in the description box below as well. That looks nice. Now I'm also going to add a little bit of cedar. Cedar just has such a wonderful, rich, Christmassy smell. And again, I'm just snipping these off. You could strip them off by hand also in nice little fan-shaped pieces. Oh yes. This is a wonderful combination of aromas. So there's not an exact science for how much that you want to use of either kind. Just use what you like. I think we've got about enough there. And now we're going to add some tangerine peels. These are dried, and they've just been what we've saved from tangerines we've been eating, mostly from what my husband had in his lunch. And I usually put in about a cup. All right. And if you wanted to be fancy, of course, you could cut the peels into strips, but this is all natural. Okay. Next ingredient is we're going to add some whole cloves. I add about 3 tablespoons of whole cloves. I'll probably just put that whole jar in there. That'd be good. If you have ground cloves instead, about 2 tablespoons should be enough. And cinnamon, of course, is a wonderful Christmassy smell. So I'm going to sprinkle 2 or 3 tablespoons. I think that looks good. Okay. The one ingredient that you perhaps don't have on hand is called ORRIS root. ORRIS root is made from an iris, a flower called iris, and it's a special one, and it is used as a fixative. The root is dried and powdered, and it helps potpourri hold its scent. So we're going to use about a tablespoon or two to add to our potpourri. And if I were being fancy, I would have added essential oils to the fixative, but I'm not. So take your pick of whatever essential oils smell Christmassy to you. Today I'm going to use 3 of my favorites. I'm going to start with some tangerine, just because it kind of goes with the theme. I'm going to guess that's maybe 30 drops. And cinnamon, of course. I'm going to aim for another 30 drops, and I'm not counting. And then some clove oil as well. A little bit less on the clove oil because it is stronger. And then I'm just going to use a fork to mix this up gently. You would not want to use your wooden salad bowl or even a plastic salad bowl or wooden or plastic utensils for this craft, because you're sure to get those scents into your bowls and utensils, and they'd be there forever, and everything you ate would taste like Christmas, which might not be a bad thing. Okay, so tossing that around and making a big mess, but having a lot of fun doing it. And then we're just going to add it to our big jar here. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing. So, you know what else I want to add is some pine cones. These will pick up the smell, the aromas of the potpourri very nicely, and they just add a nice visual element. If you see this bowl that I have here up front filled with potpourri, you can see that it's decorated with pine cones, and you could add cinnamon sticks or star anise, mosses, and all kinds of things to make it look pretty when you display it. Okay, our last little bit of potpourri here. I'm going to put in there. Got it. Sorry about that. And just about fills the jar, doesn't it? So we've got a nice big jar here. I'm going to shake it around and distribute those spices and the orris root fixative really well. And you'll notice I put the lid on it. And I'm going to set this aside and keep it closed in this jar in a dark place for about a month. And at the end of the month, the flavors and the aromas have mingled inside the jar and just married into a really beautiful melody of an aroma. And at that time then, you're free to do what you like with it. You can either save it for the next Christmas, and you can make gifts with it. You can display it in your house like what I have here in a bowl, and it just makes your home smell so nice. And you can make sachets. You can put these in linen closets or drawers or give them as gifts. Lovely gifts. And there you have it. You can see how easy that was. And it used materials that you've got just for free. The only thing you're going to have to look for is the orris root. And once you have that, you can do all kinds of other potpourri with it as well. Well, thank you for joining me today in Chocolate Box Cottage. This was so much fun. I hope that I caught you in time before you got rid of your Christmas tree. But if not, you can always go outside and judiciously harvest some sprigs and twigs from your evergreens, or ask your neighbors if you can have a few from theirs as well. Okay? Thanks a lot. Goodbye and God bless.